There's a silence that clings to the corners of the house. Soft, persistent, like dust you only see when the light falls just right. Once, this place breathed. It echoed with laughter, with footsteps that carried purpose, with music that wrapped itself around our evenings. Now it's only me, Mark, and the walls. They still remember her. Mark rarely speaks of the loss. His grief lives behind his eyes, in the moments he lingers too long, or the way his smile arrives a heartbeat late. I feel it in him, a low, unspoken hum that vibrates between us. It's there in the way he breathes, in the stillness we both pretend is peace. A year had passed since she left us. Lena, the light that kept our lives from unraveling. Her absence made everything colder, even when sunlight poured through the windows. That night, rain whispered against the glass like a lullaby. I couldn't sleep. I went downstairs for tea. The kitchen light was on. Mark stood there, shoulders tense, hands braced on the counter, staring at nothing. When he turned, our eyes met. Stillness again. That's always how it began. Couldn't sleep? He asked quietly. I shook my head. You? He exhaled, slow. I miss her voice the most at night. The crack in his voice split something in me. I poured 2 cups of tea, handed one to him. Our fingers brushed, barely, but the spark of warmth that passed between us stayed long after. She'd be proud of you, he murmured. So would she of you, I said. He smiled faintly, searching my face for something neither of us could name. We stood together, side by side, listening to the rain. I went back to bed later, but the quiet wasn't empty anymore. Something unspoken pulsed beneath it, strange, forbidden, and yet achingly human. Spring came slowly. I filled my days with small things, meals, errands, laughter where I could find it. Mark began to linger near me, on the porch, by the window, beside me at the table. His words grew softer, his questions deeper. He didn't speak like a father checking in. He spoke like a man remembering how to feel. One evening, I found him outside, bathed in golden light. His hands were clasped, as if holding something delicate. Mind if I join you? I asked. He looked up and smiled, and the space between us shifted. You remind me of her, he said after a moment. But you're not her. You're something else, stronger, more alive. My breath caught. I turned toward him, heart trembling. He looked away, regret shadowing his eyes. You don't have to apologize, I whispered, resting my hand over his. He didn't pull back. His fingers curled around mine. It's not wrong, I said softly. Just complicated. When he finally met my gaze, I saw everything. Grief, love, and something fragile trying to bloom through the cracks. I don't know when it happened, he admitted. Only that when you're near, the world feels less heavy. I feel the same. That night, I stood outside his door for a long time, listening to the silence between us hum like a heartbeat. I never knocked. I just stood there, feeling the weight of what might be. Days blurred into something gentler. His touches became small confessions, a hand on my back, fingers brushing mine, lingering moments that spoke without words. One evening, as I cooked, he stood close enough that I could feel the warmth of him. You've become the heartbeat of this home, he said quietly. I smiled. You say things like poetry. You inspire them, he replied. We ate by candlelight. It wasn't planned, but it felt intimate all the same. When I reached for the plates, he stopped me, his voice barely a whisper. Thank you. For staying. For letting me feel again. Our hands separated slowly, as if something sacred had passed between us. Later, I found him asleep on the couch. I placed a blanket over him, but his eyes opened. "I didn't mean to wake you," I said. "Maybe I was waiting for you." I sat beside him. He looked at me like he was finally ready to stop pretending. "Do you ever wonder what it would feel like?" he asked. "To stop hiding what we both already know?" He reached for my hand. I didn't let go. "I've lived by rules all my life," he said quietly. "But nothing prepared me for you. No declarations, no promises, just truth. The world outside would never understand. But maybe that didn't matter. This wasn't about replacing her. It was about learning to live again. Sometimes love doesn't arrive loudly. It settles in the quiet, like breath, like light, like the way he looked at me when he whispered, "You mean everything." And in that moment, I believed him.